Children, good morning, all of you. Put on your video, children. Hurry up. I will put you in the waiting room if I do not see your video, children. Anshul Jain, Dev Vijay, Arif Khan, Mahul, Monish Gujarani, Chitranshi, Supreet Kaur. Shrestha. Hurry up. Mahul, Arif Khan, you cannot hear or what? Satyam, Anshul Jain, Shrestha. Should I put you all in the waiting room, children? Okay, I'll do it as you say. Since you are not listening, so Arif Khan, today you have come, so just now you sit and relax in the waiting room. There you go. There. Dev Vijay, you also go and sit over there. There. Arpit, you also go and sit in the waiting room. Chirayu, go and sit in the waiting room. Monish Sharma. Monish. Chirayu, go there. Arif Khan, again you have not put it on, so please go and wait over there. Monish Sharma and Monish Kundanani, both. What is the problem with you people? Arpit, Ekagru, every day I have to tell you. Okay, let us continue with the chapter. We had done political parties. We have started the chapter that is political parties. Okay, now we had done about the functions of political parties, that there are 7 functions of political parties. First is they contest elections, then they make policies and programs. Okay, they put forward policies and programs. The third function was they play a very important role in the lawmaking of the country. Then we had done that is they form and run government and recruit leaders. Okay, then next was the party which is in opposition plays a very important role by criticizing the ruling government. Okay, and telling about the weaknesses and the failures of the ruling government. Again, the videos are off, children. Soham Kapoor and all. Again and again, I will not remind you all. 1 minute you all give me, I'll put you in the waiting room. Dev Vijay, tu aram se बैठ waiting room में. Let it Anshika, you also sit in the waiting room. Except Ishita Sood, Ekagar Bhatnagar, I have to remind you every now and then, you are so important. Please sit over there. Arif Khan, your video is still not on. Get over there. Okay. Anjani Jhamar, you are another one. आप भी बैठो आराम से. 100 times we have to remind you all. And this is the last chance I'm giving you all to join. Once more, your video is off. Please go. Anushka Dwivedi. Okay. Then we had done about, say for example, we had done that is the party which loses the election, they play the important role of sitting in the opposition. Then lastly, we had done that the parties, they also shape public opinions by highlighting certain issues which are very important for the entire country. Okay, then we had done that they provide access to government machinery and welfare. Okay, then we had done about the necessity of political parties by imagining two conditions. One condition was this, that no party exists in the democracy, and every candidate, they contest the election, they become the leader, but they are responsible only for their locality, not for the entire country. Nobody will think of the entire country, they will only think about their constituency. Okay. The second, we had taken about a place where no political party exists. Yet when the elections are supposed to take place, at that time the entire village is divided into a number of factions. Okay, this is a panchayat elections. Okay, and everybody puts up a whole panel of candidates. Okay, plus we had also done that. Modern democracy has led to a kind of form of government which is representative democracy, because everybody cannot participate in the elections. Okay, therefore it is very important that we do what, we select our representatives, and these representatives, they take part by contesting elections and coming to power. Okay, now the next important, that is how many parties should we have. Okay, as such, in our country there are 750 parties which are registered with the election commission. Okay. But as such, all these parties, anybody can form party. So as such, there are 750 parties, but all of them, they are not able to come to the limelight because they cannot win the elections. They are there, but they cannot contest the elections. So it is only a handful of the parties which can be said as to be very important parties, which contest the elections and which come to power also, which sit in the opposition. Okay. Then the next question comes that how many parties a country should have. Okay, this is still a debatable question, and at the end of this topic, I'm going to tell you the answer also. Okay, when we talk of this topic, that is how many parties should we have, we are going to take the example, the first example of one party system. One party system like that in China. Only one party is allowed to contest the elections. Other parties are there, but they do not, neither they win the elections nor they contest the elections. They are just for namesake over there. Okay. When we talk of this one party system, we cannot call it as a democratic system at all. Okay. Because for claiming yourself to be a democratic country, at least minimum two parties you should have, so that people have got a choice. Okay. So this is not at all democracy. This is all dictatorship which is going on in China. Let us take the example of two-party system. When we talk of two-party system, we are going to talk of, say, for example, generally in some of the countries, what happens, two major parties are there. In India also, it is two major parties, but then India has formed a number of, it includes a number of parties, okay, and they form coalition and they form alliances and so on. Let us talk about this two-party system. Say, for example, USA. In USA, there is two-party, Democratic and the Republicans. In UK, there are two parties, Labour Party and Conservative Party. So what happens that every year, one year it is Republican, the next year it is Democratic. In UK, one year it is the Labour Party, the next year it is the Conservative Party. Competition keeps on switching between these two parties. So this kind of system can at least be called as a democratic system because it is suitable for them. Other parties also exist, but these are the two major parties. So this can be said as a democratic system. Let us take the example of India, which has got a multi-party system. Okay, where you have got a several number of parties compete for power. Okay, more than two parties, and they have reasonable chance also of winning the elections and coming to power on their own Either they come to power on their own or they come to power by forming alliances. Okay, say for example, 2004 in your book is given, we had three main alliances. One was the NDA, the second was UPA, and the next one was Left Front. Okay, so they form alliances, and this alliances can also be called as coalition government. The government which we get because of the alliances, it is called as the coalition government. This is called as a multi-party system. And India now, let us now think that which is the best. Okay, when we ask this from our side, whether one-party system or two-party system or multi-party system, the answer to this is simply this is not a good question. Okay, this is the answer. Say for example, because party system, it evolves over a long period of time. Okay, gradually it evolves. Gradually. It depends on the nature of the society, its history, its politics, its social conditions, its religious conditions, okay, and divisions also. Okay, in our country, what we find is this, that India has evolved a multi-party system, and this multi-party system is suitable to, initially it might appear that this multi-party is very messy and confusing, but it is suitable to our people, it is suitable for the country's administration, so we prefer what? Multi-party system. Okay, plus we have got so much of social and geographical diversity that two or three party cannot accommodate them all. So therefore, we can come to the conclusion that no party, one party, two party, multi-party, nothing is ideal. And this is not a good question. This is all you're going to write. Mahol, Anshul Jain, Anshika, again your videos are off. Okay. Next we come to national party. First of all, okay, here we are going to study that what a national party and what a state party. Okay. Democracy all over the world, it has got two kinds of party. One party which is present all over the country. Okay. Parties which are present in the several units of the country, almost in every unit of the country, that is countrywide party. These are also called as countrywide party. Now, all the party, they are registered with the election commission. Okay, and election commission regard them on equal footing, but it gives some special power to some of the large and major parties. Okay, they are given special facilities. Say, for example, they are given a unique symbol, special privileges. Hence, they are called as a recognized party. Okay, recognized national party, recognized state party, they are called as. Let us see now. Not only this, election commission has laid down a criteria for multi-party, sorry, for national party as well as state party. Let us see what is this criteria. Kindly pay attention on the board. Okay. National party was taken from 6% of votes in Lok Sabha. 4 Vidhan Sabha elections. 4 Vidhan Sabha elections. And 2 seats state party. Okay. For a party to be called as a national party, this is the minimum condition. What is the minimum condition? It should be able to win. Children, you are supposed to be particularly regarding what you're writing. If in place of 6, in place of Lok Sabha, you write Vidhan Sabha, your answer will be fully wrong. Okay, so pay attention. 6% of votes in Lok Sabha or 4 Vidhan Sabha elections in state. That is 4 state assembly elections. Okay, plus 4 seats in Lok Sabha. Right? Plus this is 4, but this is compulsory. These two conditions are compulsory. Is that clear? Thumbs up, children. Ekaga Bhatnagar, what is the problem? Should I make you sit in the waiting room?
Ma'am, due to network
What?
Ma'am, network problem.
Okay, so this is it. That is what our national party. Let us talk a state party can be called a state party when it is able to win 6% of votes in Vidhan Sabha and 2 seats in Vidhan Sabha election. If it does like that, then it is called as a state party. Okay, now I'm going to read it out about the various important major national parties in our country. Please pay attention and listen to it carefully. There are 7 recognized parties in India since 2017. Only the important points I'm going to read it out just now for you all. Okay, pay attention. The first is Indian National Congress. Everybody knows Indian National Congress was formed in 1885. It is one of the oldest party in India. It was founded in 1885. Ruling party at the center till 1977. Okay, and then from 1980 to 1989, it is a centrist party. That is, centrist party means believe in kind of moderate policy, neither extreme nor that's not leftist nor rightist. Please pay attention to what I'm saying. Okay, in its ideological orientation, believes in secularism and welfare of the weaker sections and minorities. It emerged as the largest party with 145 members in Lok Sabha elections in 2004. Currently, it is the opposition party in our present system. Is that clear? This is all you have to learn. Big thing is given in your book, but this much you have to learn. Second is we are going to talk of All India Trinamool Congress, another Congress party. It was launched on 1st January 1988. In many of your books, maybe it might not be given. Leaders under Mamata Banerjee. It is recognized as National Party in 2016. 2016, symbol is flower and grass. Congress, you know the symbol is hand. This all are very important for your 1 mark question. It supports secularism and federalism. It has been in power in West Bengal since 2011. It is the 4th largest party in Lok Sabha. Okay, this is the second one. Next is BJP, currently the ruling party. Founded in the year 1980 by reviving the erstwhile Bharatiya Janata Sangh. First it was called as Bharatiya Janata Sangh, today it is BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party. It was formed by Shyama Prasad Mukherjee in 1951. It wants modern India, cultural nationalism, full territorial and political integration of Jammu and Kashmir with a uniform civil code for all. Came to power in 1998 as National Democratic Alliance, NDA. NDA government, we keep on saying this NDA government, UPA government, this is NDA government. It emerged as the largest party with 282 members in 2014 Lok Sabha elections. Currently, it leads the ruling NDA government at the center. Is that clear? This is all about BJP. Next, we are going to talk about the Communist Party of India. It was formed in 1925. Communist Party is not important in our state. But these Communist Party, they are very important in West Bengal and all these places, okay? Formed in 1925, believes in Marxism, Leninism, okay? Russian Revolution, ideas of Marxism and Leninism means socialism, okay? Secularism and democracy. It became weak after a split in 1964 that led to the formation of CPIM. It is presently important party in Kerala, West Bengal, Punjab, Andhra Pradesh, as well as Tamil Nadu. That here you have to you do not have to learn all this, but you have to read it carefully because all these are very important for your 1 mark questions. Okay. Next is this is CPI. Then another party is CPIM. When we talk of CPIM, it was founded in 1964. Again, it believes in Marxism and Leninism, socialism, secularism, and democracy. So ideally, same for both. Opposes imperialism and communalism. I hope you all know, children, what is communalism? Can anybody answer what is communalism? Yes, Vedansh, can you answer? Vedansh? Vedansh, your video is also not on. Monish Sharma, Bhumi Get. Vedansh? Can you answer? अंजनी झवर पे थोड़ी देर बैठ जा जाके जा वेटिंग रूम में. Vedansh.
Ma'am, it is a system that integrates the communities of a highly educated societies and localities.
This
Ma'am,
you
it
mean by,
integrates
my God, this you mean by communalism? Actually, this chapter was there in your book, Gender, Religion and Caste. That is why I asked you all whether you all understand communalism or not. Ranjan, can you answer? Why the videos are not on Chitranshi, Monish, Arif and Dev Vijay?
Ma'am, a strong sense of belief in a particular party.
This is the meaning of communalism. Anybody else who can answer? Children, communalism, basically it means communalism is always bad. Bad for a country. Wherever it happens, it is bad. Whether it happens here or wherever it happens. And what you people are saying, that is something which we should be proud of. Basically, communalism means when we fight in the name of religion. India was partitioned because of communalism. Okay, so here what this party is doing, it opposes imperialism. Everybody knows what is imperialism. Communalism means when we as Hindus and Muslims start fighting with each other. This is communalism. So kindly don't integrate the two. That is why I have explained to you all. This chapter was there, communalism, it is always harmful. It never leads to the unity of the country. It always leads to the disintegration of the country. Anyways, let us continue. It has strong support in West Bengal, Tripura, Kerala, among poor workers, farmers, laborers, and intelligent people also. Was in power in West Bengal without a break, CPIM, without a break for 34 years. In 2014 Lok Sabha election, it won 3% of votes and 9 seats. Okay. Then we talk a very interesting party, Bhujan Samaj Party, National Party, formed in 1984 by Kashiram, okay, seeks to represent Dalits, Adivasis, OBC, and minorities. Draws its inspiration. Please put on your video, children. Draws its inspiration from the teachings of Sahu Maharaj, Mahatma Phule, Periyar, Ramaswamy Naicker, and Dada Saheb Ambedkar. Okay, stands for the welfare of the Dalits, has been an important party in UP, MP, Chhattisgarh, Delhi, and Punjab. BSP is a national party. Okay, then we talk of NCP, that is the last party, National Congress Party. It was formed in the year 1999. It has got its symbol as, I think, ghadi, a clock. After the split in Congress Party, it supports Gandhian secularism, social justice, equality, and federalism. It was a major party in Maharashtra, Meghalaya, Manipur, Assam. A member party of the UPA, United Progressive Alliance, that was Congress Party. Okay. Next, we are going to talk about state political parties. Okay. Now, this is all about national parties. Okay. Let us talk about state parties also. When we talk about state parties, there are certain state parties. There are certain state parties. This is your entire country. Can you see the board, children? Okay, this is the entire country. Okay, and in this country, there are certain state parties which is present only in one particular area. And whereas there are other national parties, sorry, there are other state parties which are not present in one particular area, but they are present in of the unit of our country, that is in each unit of federal country. Okay, what we can conclude is this, that certain state parties, they are good out their state party, but they have got a kind of national level standing because the offices are present all over the country. Okay, some of the all India parties, state parties are Samajwadi Party, Samta Party, Rashtriya Janata Dal. Is that clear? These are no doubt they are state party, yet they have got their present everywhere. On the other hand, there are certain parties which are confined only to that particular state, but strong and very important. Okay, example. Some are confined to the state. Example: Mizo National Front, Biju Janata Dal, Sikkim Democratic Front, and so on. Okay. Now, over the last years, why we are studying this, children? That why we have to study these kind of state parties also. Why? Because over the last years, these state parties has become very important. Important in the sense that none of the major political party, national party, is able to win entire majority. So it has to form alliances with these state parties. Okay, over the last years, these parties have strengthened and expanded. Today, no national party is able to secure majority in the Lok Sabha. Therefore, as a result, before the election only, they form alliances with these state parties. Okay, and when they form alliances, when they form coalition, it further strengthens our system of federalism or democracy. Till here we are going to do, children, today. Okay, tomorrow we are going to start with challenges to political parties. Is that clear? Please read the chapter